Hello there, doers. My name is Jose Ignacio. Welcome back. Today we're talking about packagings, the containers or formats that hold a specific quantity of a product. As we saw in our units of measure video, a unit is an individual product item. At Stealthy Threads, that unit is a yard of fabric. That's usually what our customers want, but we don't just move fabric yard by yard. On the purchase side, we buy our fabric in bolts of 40 yards. On the sales side, in addition to our typical yard offerings, our customers are basically asking for something called a fat quarter, which is it's kind of funny, but it's 1/4 of a yard. In Odoo, both of these are packagings or different quantities of units of a product sold as an item. Using them makes buying in bulk and selling in specialty sizes a breeze. Just to be clear though, packagings are different from packages. Packagings are how you buy or sell a product, like a 6-pack of soda. Packages are how you move products, like a pallet full of those 6 packs. If you want a more detailed explanation, we've included links to some documentation and videos to compare all of these concepts, so check them out below. Anyways, enough chit chat, let's hop into our database. Stealthy Threads always keeps its customers happy, so we want to offer a fat quarter packaging with the help of Odoo. We're going to be working in the inventory, in this case, very first step there, and then the sales application. So let's dive in. Let's open up the inventory app to get started. First things first, let's make sure that we have the feature enabled. We're going to open up configuration and settings. We always do this dance, doers. So when that opens, we're going to scroll down until we reach our products section right here. Perfect. Okay, so you see right there, units of measure and packagings, make sure it's enabled. And everything looks good here. If this is your first time doing this, make sure to click the save button up in the top left just to move on. But now that we have this set, let's create a packaging that we can assign to our product for sales or purchase. So first, in this case, let's click configuration up at the top and then units and packagings. Perfect. Here we are on our list. In Odoo, these two work hand in hand. Units of measure are how we measure a single unit, like 1 yard of fabric. Packagings are how we group multiple units when we buy or sell a product, like a bolt of fabric, which is 40 yards. I learned that recently. Think of it this way. Since every packaging is ultimately just a specific number of units, Odoo keeps units and packagings in the same place so that they can refer, and in this case, reference each other. We already have a unit of measure for yards, and you can see that right there. So let's actually create that fat quarter packaging our customers have been asking for. We're going to click new just to get started up at the top. So on this form, we're going to name this one, as I said, fat quarter. Perfect. Now look at the quantity field below. So this is the most important part. This is where we tell Odoo how much fabric is in this specific packaging. Since a fat quarter is 1/4 of a yard, we're going to enter 0.25 right there for my math people. And then we're going to set the reference unit over here to yard. So we're asking for 0.25, which is 1/4 of a yard. And now we've created a permanent link. Fat quarter will show up as an option on product forms. And every time that we sell a fat quarter of any fabric, Odoo knows to subtract exactly 1/4 of a yard from our inventory. We're going to click on our nice little manual save icon up at the top. And this packaging is available for use on any product in our inventory now. Okay, ready to see that in action? Let's navigate over to products and products. We're going to go up into, well, actually, we're here and we're going to take a look at some fabrics. Which ones would you check out? Flowers flannel. Let's do this one. So we're selling this at $16 per yard, and you can see that in our sales price field right there. Up until now, we've sold fabrics exclusively by the yard, and that's how it shows up in the inventory, as we can see over here by our forecasted smart button. But it's easy to add the new packaging that we just created for this product. We're going to open up our sales tab over here. Okay, and you kind of guess where I'm going to head to. You see this packagings field right there? Let's click into it to reveal our options. And would you look at that? We're going to select our fat quarter. Perfect. We can also specify packagings for purchase. For that, we just open the purchase tab over here. And in this case, we can add a line and specify a vendor and then specify the packaging in the unit field along with its purchase price. And you can see that over here for our price and other options like lead times as well. Now that we've set up our new packaging, let's see how it's sold. So here on our quotations page right here, we're going to select new over here up at the top. Start with our customer field right there. We're going to sell to Fatima Corridor over there. And then down here inside of our order lines, we're going to basically add a product. And in this case, it's the one that we just changed, our flowers flannel. And in this case, we happen to know, if we change the quantity over here to 3, that this one is going to change for us once that we select our fat quarter. Look at that. Odoo is smart, so it automatically calculates what it thinks that the price of 3 fat quarters should be. In this case, that $16 that we saw initially is divided by 4, and at 4 of each of them turns into 12 for 3 units. Perfect. But if you want to add a small surcharge due to the extra labor involved in cutting a fat quarter, you can manually set the unit price as well right there. You never know. In our case, we're satisfied with our price, so we're going to select confirm up at the top. And now we've created our sales order. And there's one more thing to consider when we're fulfilling this order. How does the warehouse know what packagings our product is being sold in? How do we keep them from just cutting 3/4 of a yard and shipping that as is? Well, that's easy. Let's click our delivery smart button up at the top, and we're going to open up this delivery order. So here we actually see that our demand is 0.75 or 3/4 of a yard or 3 units of a fat quarter as we just saw before. Let's actually make sure the correct packaging shows up as well. So we're going to select additional options. We're going to select this packaging one right there and packaging quantity. Look at that. Now whoever views the delivery order is going to see that we want 3 fat quarters. If they're processing this using the barcode app, the packaging will show by default. And there you have it. By setting up a fat quarter packaging, we've made it easy for customers to get the exact amount of fabric that they need, while ensuring our inventory stays perfectly accurate down to the decimal. Whether you're buying in bolts or selling in fat quarters, packagings allows you to bridge the gap between the units that you use to track your stock and the amount your customers actually want to buy. Now you're ready to bundle, wrap, and roll your own products with these. Thanks for watching, and as always, if you found this useful, helpful, anything, check out our other videos just to keep your Odoo knowledge growing. I'm going to go learn how to sew. I'll see you later. No snacks today.